This is Shanti from Shanti TV. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. For those of you that are watching the Super Bowl, it just so happens to be in the state of Arizona, which is my home. So I'm sure you guys are gearing up with all your sports gear and your teams, and you're all ready, hopefully with all your eatery and your drinks and all that good stuff. And we'll be watching the Super Bowl later. I'm not a big sports fanatic, but I do love music, so I will be watching the Super Bowl halftime later today. And I am cheering on Rihanna as she does her performance post-baby, and she hasn't done a performance in, I think she said 7 years, so it'll be nice to see her back on the stage. So I'll be looking forward to that performance. So welcome to today's video. I am so glad you returned. If you're a new person joining my channel today, hello, my name is Shanti and I do videos every week on mostly Louis Vuitton. I hope to branch out to some other things, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, I love fashion too. I love fashion, I love clothes, I love travel, and there's just so many things that I love, but so far it's been a lot of Louis Vuitton on my channel. I've gotten quite a few new subscribers, so thank you for hitting that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. All right, so lots of tea to talk about today. I wanted to, I was having a really hard time trying to figure out what to talk about, but there's always stuff I want to talk about, but I'm always worried that it's not going to fill up a whole, YouTube video. So today I want to discuss kind of what's been going on at LVMH, which is the company that owns Louis Vuitton and many other brands, including beauty brands like Sephora, and they own Moet, Champagne. They own just various different things, so they're in a lot of different spaces, but LVMH owns Louis Vuitton, and just wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on there. We as consumers, obviously, especially on my channel, I talk about Louis Vuitton a lot. We purchase so many things from Louis Vuitton, so why not understand how that kind of affects Louis Vuitton and try to understand some of the things that they're doing, like pricing increases and where they're trying to go in the future. I think it's important to know those things because it's a brand that I put a lot of money into, whether it's buying goods or whether it's supporting them via financial backing. Investments. So either way, you're investing your dollars into the company. So it's kind of nice to know where it goes and what they're trying to do with it. So this particular video might be a little bit different, but that's okay. Let's explore some new things that maybe some other people don't always talk about. So how did LVMH do in 2022? That's some information I'd like to give to you. So they had a sales revenue of an increase of 23%. So what does that mean? That means if you take $100, and I made $100 last year, and let's just go to 25% just to make it easy, I would have made $125 this year, which would have given me a 25 increase of sales revenue. So how do those things happen? How do they increase their sales revenue? One way, right, an easy way, is to do pricing increases. And how many of you have been complaining about pricing increases? I surely have. I think Louis Vuitton has really forged ahead with their pricing increases, and they do it multiple times a year, and they're pretty aggressive with these pricing increases in the last several years, and some of these bags have increased way over the 23% mark. But it's been kind of jarring in some places and on some items. And remember, LVMH owns, more than just Louis Vuitton. But so this 23% increase that they had is over everything, over all the different various spaces that they are in. But they reported a 23% increase in sales revenue alone in 2022. The next thing that they did was they increased their profits by 17% in 2022, and they're calling it organically over all areas. So that's, again, another big deal. How do you increase profit while you're increasing your sales revenue? Well, you could hold on your cost, right? So maybe somehow they've been able to manage to kind of, keep their costs kind of the same. Maybe they've cut some expenses. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to increase different profits, but that's basically the money you take home after you pay all your expenses. So these guys had an increase. These guys and gals had an increase in profit of 17% in 2022. So I thought it would be really interesting to kind of talk about where does the profit actually come from geographically. It's kind of interesting. So Asia represents 30% of their revenue, which was down from 2021 by 5%. Very interesting. Next comes the US. That's us, folks. That's us buying. We actually increased by 1% from last year to 27%. We represent 27% of their sales revenue. Europe, excluding France, represents 16% of the revenue, up 1% since last year. Then they kind of have other markets notated, and they represent about 12% of the sales revenue, up 1% from 2021. Then you have France, which represents 8% of their revenue, up 2% since 2021. And then you have Japan, which represents 7%, and they stayed kind of flatlined from 2021 to 2022. So no increase there in Japan. So that's kind of the percentage breakdown by geographical region, which I thought was really interesting. So 27% of the income that they have is by the United States, and Asia, of course, is a huge influencer of these kinds of products, luxury products. So one of the reasons that they're saying that Asia had such an impact with going down, they were the only geographical region that actually went down by 5%, is because of China and the health crisis still kind of affecting China, the shutdowns, COVID, all of those things affected basically Asia. Asia actually went down in revenue for 2022. Just a note, I'm reading, this information is coming from LVMH's investor financial annual results document. That's where I'm getting all this information from. It's out there for you to find. I did want to read to you guys, however, what LVMH will be focusing on for 2023 as their objectives. I think this is important for everybody to listen to. So I'm going to read some of this stuff to you. So confidence. They want to continue growth momentum of our maisons and build their desirability over the long term. So they want to instill confidence in their customers and in the market that they are a brand that you should want for the long term. They don't want short-term customers. They want long-term commitment, and they want to be able to build that confidence in their customers. The next thing that they talk about is creativity and excellence. Staying true to our values and focus on creativity, quality, and distribution of our products. So they say that they want to focus on these things. I hope, Louis Vuitton, if you are watching, quality is a big deal for your customers. We have to really focus in on quality. because I think that area has probably been slipping some, and being able to back their products. There's too many different stories out there. It should all be, if they're going to back their qualities, they need to back it all the way across the board. We shouldn't have different stories in different regions of the country saying different things, and that gets very confusing to customers. So I hope they stay true to what their statements are in their annual financial results for 2023. This one is very interesting. It says, digitalization. Pursue further digitalization of our maisons to enrich customers' experience online and in stores. I think Louis Vuitton in particular has been so slow to come on to social media, to come on to the way they present their products online, the way they make things accessible. I think it's much better now, but I think they've just been slow about it, because I feel like they should have been a lot quicker to this. I really do hope that they make things more accessible, and not less accessible as some of the rumors we've been hearing. Some of the rumors that I even talked about was, I've heard that all of the Monogram will be taken offline and you'll only be able to get it through a sales associate at a store that I mean, that is not really giving us accessibility and giving us a good experience. That's kind of forcing us to buy product in a different way. So that, I'm not sure if that rumor is true, if these 2023 objectives are correct. Here's another one. Commitment. They want to continue to execute on the group's commitment to preserve the environment and corporate responsibility. I think I had read somewhere where they were using sustainable products. They were using, recycled packaging material. So things like that they want to commit to. And then they want to support the prestige of France throughout the world. Of course, as you know, Louis Vuitton is a French brand, French fashion house, so they want to continue keeping the prestige of France throughout all of their products and all of their lines. Vigilance. Maintain vigilance within current economic and geopolitical context and a still disrupted health situation, particularly in Asia. So I think that's very interesting that they are understanding that we still have leftover issues from COVID. We still have just economic situations that are coming up. You hear, in the economy that there might be a recession, or we're in a recession, or a recession is coming. And so it's really interesting to see how they kind of monitor these things and then make decisions, which we'll talk about in a minute. Entrepreneurial spirit. This is the last one. Build upon the entrepreneurial spirit and agility of our organization. Which, okay, we'll see what that exactly means. So that's some of their 2023 objectives. Now, I don't have any of their financial objectives for 2023, but I'm sure part of their objectives would be very similar to the objectives that they showed us in 2022 for their investors as they increase sales and they increase profits. So I'm sure they'll want to do the same thing in 2023. So how will they do that? Again, I talked about sales revenue increasing, and in February, those in the Euro market saw anywhere from a 3 to 7% price hike in Europe. So our European friends saw that, and they are in it now. I don't think everything increased across the board, but there were definitely leather goods and handbags and Monogram that took a hit. That took a hit in terms of a price increase. So I have heard rumors that the US is expecting a price increase in February. Don't have confirmation of when. There are rumors floating around that it will happen on Valentine's Day as a gift to the US. I am not sure. I don't have any confirmation on that, but I would not be surprised, as they have historically increased prices in February. So, I mean, they are a company. They have investors that they need to report to. And so it would not be a surprise if they increase their prices. So I know people get upset over these pricing increases. I know it doesn't seem legitimate. It seems like they're trying to push people out of the market. And a lot of that I agree with. I'm sure they're trying to maintain their profits because their costs have probably gone up as well. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't think that they're gonna hold back on pricing increases. Do I think they're gonna make huge jumps like they did on some of these last pricing increases? I don't think so. I think they'll be anywhere from the 3 to 7%. We'll see. I mean, we'll definitely talk about it if they do it. So what's coming up next for Louis Vuitton? Some of you are probably here because you want to hear about that. I find it very interesting. So I'm a Marc Jacobs fan, okay? So Marc Jacobs was the creative director for Louis Vuitton from 1997, and he left in 2014. And there was a great love for Marc Jacobs and some of the stuff that he put out there. The Steven Sprouse, the graffiti collection, the Murakami collection. Marc Jacobs just had some really, really good collaborations and just, I don't know, made some really iconic moves, I think, at Louis Vuitton. So since 2014, we've had a Nicolas Gasquier. I hope I'm saying his name right. And I feel like the particular items that I want to talk about today have a very it's definitely giving off Marc Jacobs vibes, and it's definitely, I think, a nod to Marc Jacobs. So I don't know if any of you remember the Mini Lin, which was in the Marc Jacobs era. They have something called Nanogram coming out in their leather goods, and it's quite interesting. So I'm gonna show you some of the items that are coming out. They have been posted on Foxy LV on Instagram, so if you guys want to go over there and check that out, you can. Let's talk about the Nanogram bags that are coming out. So we have the Dauphine MM Nanogram in black. Item code is M22276 for $4,600. This looks like a leather piece, and it is reaching. It is reaching. It's getting up there, guys. It is beautiful. It has a lot of gold hardware on it. It looks like it has 2 leather straps, or it looks like it has 2 straps on it. It is very classy. It's very beautiful. The monogram looks like it's in light blue to me. And it's just, I don't know, it's definitely elevated. I think the Mini Lin is, I'm gonna call it Mini Lin, or the Nanogram is a little bit more playful. Yeah, it's beautiful, but is it worth $4,600? I don't know. You tell me. Do you want to be a part of their increased sales revenue for 2023? So that is one of the new items that is coming out. The next one that's coming out is the Speedy 20. So I have not talked about my wish list, but I do have the Speedy 20 on my wish list. I personally would not get it in the Nanogram. I would like the classic Monogram Speedy 20, but as you can see, this comes in blue. I believe it comes in pink as well. It is very, very pretty. M22596 is the code, and it is $3,100. So looks like anything leather at this point, they're reaching above $3,000 for sure. It's pretty. It looks like it has gold hardware. It has a leather one. It looks like it has 1 strap on it, which is leather. It has kind of a gold chain running through a little, some of it. I think the standard Speedy 20 in black also does the same thing. So that is also very pretty. They have this also in the Nanogram black. I personally prefer the black. I think it's really cool looking. I think it would look very good with denim. The item code for that is M22595, and that is for $3,100. So that Speedy comes out in the black, the light blue, and the pink. I think a lot of people are interested in the pink. The other few items that I don't necessarily see anywhere posted, but that I understand are coming out, are going to be the loop in the same black, Nanogram black color. The Monogram clutch. You guys should have seen this on Foxy's post. That is coming out. It looks like in regular Monogram as well as, and she posted the regular Monogram for $3,550. The item code is M46544. It is so beautiful. It reminds me of the Marc Jacobs Stam bag. It is very Marc Jacobs-esque. I am absolutely adoring it. It's very, very ladylike. Love it. But it is also coming out in the Nanogram look, and I believe it's coming out in the black as well. And then you have the Lexington. I will, put a picture of that in the black. The Zippy wallet also coming out in the black, and Victorian wallets coming out in some of these other colors like the blue, I believe the pink. I'll put pictures up of what I saw is coming out. So, what do you guys think? I also want to talk about one last item that Foxy LV also put out on her channel, and that was for the mini pochette. So for those of you who don't follow anybody on Instagram and are trying to find out what's going on, you guys know what a mini pochette is, right? So I brought out my mini pochette. This mini pochette I purchased a very long time ago. It is not a piece that I use very often. I have this one, I have the Damier Azur, and I have the Monogram as well. I use the Monogram way more often than I do this one, only because I don't want to deal with color transfer. So this kind of sits in my closet, really needs to be used a little bit more, and I'll probably pull it out during the summer. But my main beef with this, okay, a lot of people are using this, they'll add a longer chain to it. I'll use this as a regular bag. My main beef with this thing is this. This is a iPhone 13 Pro, not a Pro Max, it's a 13 Pro. I cannot for the life of me fit this phone in this bag, and that irritates me. Any bag that I have, I would like to, at a minimum, get my phone in there, just in case I needed to put my phone in, because I had to get something. Like, it would be nice to be able to put my phone in there. I can't do it. I'd have to leave it up like this. I don't love that idea. So those that are using this, I guess you don't use it for your phone, because if you have this phone, you definitely cannot get it into here. So that's my beef with this. So I don't really use it. But now, Louis Vuitton is going to, and I think this is the most ridiculous thing, right? But they're trying to build confidence, remember what they said. They're trying to build confidence in their brand. But I have problems with this, okay? So they are going to add a chain, a long chain. I took this chain off of my Felicie Pochette, and they're gonna add a chain to this. And it's gonna come out as a revised version, a new model, probably they'll call it. And this is gonna be $860 for a mini pochette with a long chain. I hope that they are going to do something else but add this chain. I hope that maybe you can fit a phone in here. Maybe they'll make it slightly bigger. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't even have a code for it. But that's what we're hearing. We're hearing that this ridiculousness is happening. Remember, they want to increase their sales revenue and they want to increase profits. And this is one of the ways that they're hoping to do it, by adding a chain and hoping that they can sell you this for $860. Now, for those of you who could care less, who have the $860 to spend on this, are like, fine, I'll buy it. I want a mini pochette, I'll go get it. No big deal. But for me, I'm not gonna do it. I will say this, I really, really would like, the other item on my wish list is the Pochette accessoire. I don't have it in Monogram. I have it in the Damier Ebene. I would like it in the Monogram, and it's just so hard. They have increased the prices on these little bags, you know, things that we keep inside of bigger bags, to the point where it's gotten very, very expensive, and it's canvas, it's not leather. They're trying to push leather so hard, but a lot of us keep going back to canvas for reasons that some of us like Louis Vuitton. I mean, they're known for their canvas. I know they're trying to push this leather, and some of their leather pieces I do love, but you know, I love canvas. I keep going back to canvas. Give me more canvas and I'll be happy. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of show you what I thought was absolutely ridiculous. I won't be buying another mini pochette. You know, if I do, I'll shock myself if I buy one. But this is not something that I would buy, also because I can't fit my phone in there. So to me, it's a little less handy for me. I would rather have the bigger pochette accessoire instead of this. So what are you guys gonna do? Leave a comment down below. Would you buy this for $860? I mean, I think it's already ridiculous with the price being what it is right now. So to add a chain to it, having it the same size, and telling me it's gonna be $860, that's a bit much. That's a bit. There are wallets out there that you can buy and put your phone in. So, like, no, just no. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Louis Vuitton does for 2023. We'll watch and see, right? They're putting out new collections all the time. Nanogram will be dropping soon. So what do you guys think of the Nanogram collection? Are any of you interested in it? I do think, you know, some of it is very, very pretty. Again, it's a nod to the Marc Jacobs era, in my opinion. And I love Marc Jacobs, so it's nice to see them doing that. But for me, I probably won't be indulging. So let me know what you guys think. Leave it down in the comments below. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Make it productive, and I will see you back next week. Ciao.